I'm Shirley. Standing here in this quiet hotel room, holding the National Humanitarian Technology Award in my hand, I can't help but think back to that fateful night. The night my so-called family chose a basketball game over the biggest moment of my career. The room is silent, except for the soft hum of the air conditioner. The city outside the glass doors is alive, but it has no idea what just happened. I look at my reflection in the mirror. I'm wearing a deep purple dress that my mentor, Dr. Lily Chen, said made me look confident and powerful. But right now, all I feel is a strange mix of emptiness and relief. My phone has been buzzing non-stop in my purse, but I've kept it on silent. I already know who's calling. It's my family, the same family who didn't even bother to ask what the award was for when I brought the invitation to dinner. Let me take you back. I grew up in a small town in Texas. My family was all about appearances. My father, Mr. Robert Thompson, was a successful real estate agent. He was always focused on making deals and climbing the social ladder. My mother, Mrs. Emily Thompson, was a socialite who spent her days organizing charity events and making sure our family looked perfect in the eyes of the town. I have an older brother named Jake and an older sister named Sarah. Jake was the golden boy. He was good at sports, had a charming personality, and could talk his way out of anything. My parents always bragged about his potential. Sarah was the beauty of the family. She was into fashion and social media, always posting pictures of our family looking happy and perfect. And then there was me. I was the quiet one, the one who was always there to fix things. I knew how to handle the family finances, how to deal with the insurance companies, and how to keep the house running smoothly. I was the one who remembered everyone's birthdays and anniversaries, the one who took care of the little details that made our family life seem normal. But my achievements were never really celebrated. When I won a coding competition in high school, my mother said it was nice but then asked if I could help Jake with his college application. When I got a full scholarship to study computer science at a top university, my father just said that I should choose a more practical major. After college, I moved to Seattle to work for a medical logistics startup. Our mission was to develop software that could coordinate emergency drone deliveries of vital medical supplies. It was a challenging but rewarding job. I spent many nights at my desk, poring over data and writing code, knowing that every decision I made could mean the difference between life and death for someone. Dr. Lily Chen, our project director, was the first person who really saw me. She recognized my talent and encouraged me to keep pushing forward. Under her leadership, our system grew from a small-scale pilot to a large-scale emergency network. We helped save countless lives by ensuring that critical supplies reached patients in time, even in the most difficult conditions. One day, we received a call from the National Humanitarian Technology Foundation. I thought they were calling for Dr. Chen, but to my surprise, she called me into her office and told me that I was the one who had been nominated for the award. I laughed, thinking it was a joke. But then she showed me the folder full of statements from hospitals, emergency managers, and rural doctors. They all praised the work I had done on the routing system. When the official invitation arrived, I was in shock. 4 guest seats were reserved under my name. I could have invited my colleagues, who had always supported me, but a small part of me still hoped that my family would come. I wanted them to see me for who I really was, to be proud of me for once. I brought the invitation home and placed it on the dinner table. I'd be honored if you all could come, I said, trying to sound calm. Jake picked it up before anyone else could speak. He read the front, gave me a smirk, and then flicked the card across the table. It hit my cheek and landed in my lap. "You think we care about your nerdy award?" he said, laughing as if it was the funniest thing in the world. My mother just sighed and said, "We already have tickets to the Seattle Supersonics game. It's a big event for us." My father barely looked up from his plate and said, "Don't expect us to change our plans for this." I looked down at the bent corner of the invitation, at my name printed in gold. I felt a lump in my throat, but I didn't say a word. I just picked up the invitation, put it back in my purse, and left the room. The night of the ceremony, I arrived at the convention center alone. The place was filled with important people, but all I could think about was the empty seats reserved for my family. As the program started, I listened to the speeches about innovation and service. Every time the audience applauded, my chest tightened a little more. I knew that strangers were about to celebrate me, while the people who were supposed to love me didn't even care. Across town, my family was at the basketball game. I learned later from videos and messages that Jake was sitting there with a bucket of popcorn, laughing and having a great time. Sarah was taking pictures for her social media. My mother was wearing a team scarf, and my father was checking the game stats. Then, during the first intermission, the arena host announced a special community spotlight. The giant screen above the center court switched from basketball highlights to the live feed from the award ceremony. At first, my family didn't react. It was just another public service segment. But then my photo appeared, along with my name and the description of my work. In the arena, you could see Jake stop chewing his popcorn. Sarah lowered her phone. My mother leaned forward, and my father stared at the screen in shock. Back at the convention center, the host was introducing me. He talked about the closed roads, the remote clinics, and the lives that our system had saved. When he called my name, Dr. Chin squeezed my hand. I walked up to the stage, feeling both nervous and excited. I accepted the award from a very important-looking woman. Then I stepped up to the microphone. I had prepared a speech, but when I looked out at the audience, I thought about all the quiet people like me who had been overlooked. I said that the award belonged to all the people who worked behind the scenes, the dispatchers, the nurses, the engineers, and the rural doctors. I said that sometimes the most important systems are the ones that people don't notice until they need them. The ballroom erupted in applause. At the arena, people around my family started turning their heads. Someone asked, "Thompson, is that your daughter?" Another person said, "Why are you here and not at the award ceremony?" My mother tried to say something, but nothing came out. My father just stared straight ahead. Sarah started typing on her phone, and Jake sat there, frozen, with popcorn on his hand. After the ceremony, I stayed for photos and handshakes. My team was so proud of me, and Dr. Chen's quiet smile meant the world to me. When I finally took my phone out of my purse, it was a mess. There were missed calls, text messages, and voicemails from my family. Jake's messages were full of apologies at first, but then he started saying that it was all a joke. My mother sent a long message saying how proud she was of me, but it felt so fake. My father wanted to discuss how to handle the media attention as a family. Sarah sent a bunch of emojis and a childhood photo, saying she wanted to post something beautiful about my award. But their words after the broadcast were so different from their actions before. They didn't ask how I felt, what the award meant to me, or how hard I had worked. They were just worried about how it would look for them. By the time I got back to my apartment, the situation had gotten worse. Someone had found Jake's post from earlier that night. He had posted a video of him throwing the invitation at me, captioning it "Big Nerd Award." The internet did its thing, and the video went viral. People were sharing it along with the footage of him watching me on the arena screen and the broadcast of the award ceremony. My family started panicking. They called and texted me non-stop, asking me to fix the situation. Jake said that people were taking things out of context and that I needed to comment that we were all good. But I was done. I had spent years being the one to fix their problems, to make them look good. This time, I wasn't going to do it. I saved all the screenshots and the videos, and then I placed my award on the shelf by the window. I made myself a cup of tea and sat in the quiet, letting their calls ring without answering. The next morning, my phone was filled with messages from relatives, neighbors, and even reporters. My family was still trying to come up with a strategy to save face. My mother wanted me to say that we had all laughed about the invitation incident. My father wanted a family statement about unity. Sarah had already drafted a post about how proud she was of me, but it was all about making her look good. Jake sent a voice message. His voice was angry and scared. He said that clients had seen the video and that I needed to fix it. That was when I knew that I couldn't go back to the way things were. I wrote a calm message in the family chat. I said that I appreciated the congratulations, but I wouldn't participate in any public statements that framed my award as a family achievement. I told them that my work belonged to my team and the people we served, and they didn't have permission to use my name or story for their own gain. I also asked them not to contact my coworkers or the foundation. My mother called me cruel. My father said I was embarrassing the family. Sarah tried to convince me to post something positive. Jake called me selfish. But I stood my ground. I blocked Jake on all platforms, muted the family chat for a year, and made it clear to my company that no family member was authorized to speak on my behalf. Dr. Chen supported me. She said that we would keep the focus on the work. And that's what I did. Our medical drone network received new funding, and we expanded our partnerships. I spent more time building the next version of the system and less time dealing with the media. I also started mentoring students, especially young women who were like me, quiet and passionate about their work. I told them to chase their dreams with dignity, to know that their work was valuable even if no one at home understood it. My family still tries to reach me from time to time. My mother sends messages through relatives saying she misses me. My father asks if it's time to move on. Sarah posts vague quotes about forgiveness. Jake's messages are shorter and less defensive now. Maybe he's changing, or maybe he's just learned that pressure doesn't work on me anymore. But I've learned my lesson. I've built a life with people who truly value me, who see me for who I am. I've realized that love without respect is not enough. And I'll never let anyone define my worth based on their convenience again. So, I ask you, have you ever had to choose between keeping fake peace and protecting your self-respect? If you were in my place, what would you do?